I can't stop. I can't get that Snoop Dogg. Love you, Daddy Dog.
Snoop Dogg. Finally started. I don't give a fuck, you bitch.
Your birthday was a month ago.
That's true.
Yeah, we didn't do a show, so I didn't get to mention it live on the show.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Sorry, I was a little preoccupied.
I can't imagine how.
Yeah.
How's he doing?
Good. Giant fucking baby, even bigger than Nolan. So
I know he's big. Yeah, I was shocked. He's pretty big.
Massive.
But Nolan's hair is bigger.
I should send you some pictures of all the recently, though.
Nolan has like Egon hair. He does a little bit. Yeah.
He has Coen Brothers hair, which is ironic because we're here to talk about Coen Brothers. But also, last year, tomorrow, we switched the name to Hollywood is Dead and started a new show.
Last year, tomorrow?
July 29th of 2022.
Really? It's just been 1 year.
This is our
year of this show.
Year of this title, yes. Year of this show.
Wow. Holy shit.
But I just switched the Lord of Wonderland show to this. So, yeah, it's been a year we've been doing this.
We only have 130 episodes.
This is episode 130. It's been on the air for 10 years. No, before it was, I didn't do the show for a long time.
Yeah.
So we've been catching up a lot. So we're good.
Yeah.
Today, though, on Hollywood is Dead, we're going to play an intro. Haven't heard this since last week.
And boy, isn't it not dead. It's dead.
I changed that.
It's so dead.
Yes, we were discussing the writer's strike, the actor strike, and everyone's strike, the Teamster strike when they join in.
Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit about them because they make shitty shit, and everybody knows it. So fuck them. We don't care anymore.
But you know who I do care about?
Who?
The Coen Brothers.
Yes.
Do you not?
Oh, I love the Coen Brothers.
All right. So, Dick, I asked you to make an actual physical list for once.
Yes.
Instead of your usual mental list that you'll think of at the last
time.
Did you actually make a list?
I do. I have it right here.
Holy shit. Thank you. Okay. I got my list here.
Now, there is a caveat. I did not see Macbeth.
Yes, I am ruling that out.
I don't have Apple TV and I don't want it. So I might one day I just probably just buy the goddamn thing because it looks wonderful. I love Denzel. I love Francis McDormand. I love Shakespeare. So I think I need to buy it anyway.
I will say this, and we can discuss it now because I have 19 in my list. You have 18. We'll consider your number 19 a tragedy. The tragedy of Macbeth.
The tragedy of not seeing the tragedy of Macbeth.
Yes, we'll just. You know what? In fact, let's save it now because we'll go off my list because it was my choice to do Coen Brothers. So
yeah, that's fine.
We'll consider your number 19 an NA episode that has tragedy of Macbeth. My number 19 that we'll discuss is A Serious Man.
Well, last on my list is Serious Man as well. We both, it's a very, very specific style of movie. It's very, 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 very
bland,
complainy.
You say complainy?
Complainy.
Is that your way of saying Jewy?
Yes, exactly. Okay. Hello, what's going on here? I'm almost as Jewish as Meet the Fablemans. Oh no, almost as bad as that.
I'm going to say something. I don't know if it's going to make any sense.
Yes.
It reminds me. It's like a serious episode of a 90s sitcom.
Right, it's a 90s dramedy.
Yeah, it reminds me of like
David E. Kelly.
If you did a serious episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, here's the movie.
Right.
That's what it reminds me of. And there are parts that are genuinely funny. It's in the dialogue because it's Coen Brothers. It is. I don't hate the movie by any means. I do like the movie.
No, just on the scale of Coen Brothers movies, it's the last. This is the least interesting.
Yeah, it's like
the least. Yeah, it's just
rank the times you've had sex, and you're not going to be like, I fucking hated it. You're going to be like, it could have been better this time. But that's my least worst.
Yeah,
but so it's the first time I watched it, I was like, this is stupid. Like, this is a waste of my time.
Right.
I did rewatch it to get my list in order here, just to see if I liked it more as as a nearly 40-year-old.
Right.
Just a little bit, just a little bit.
I remember I saw it in the theaters when it came out.
Really?
I did see it in theaters because I think I was either working at the ArcLight or what year did this movie come out?
2004?
No,
after that. You're right.
This is 2008, 9, 2010.
I can pull it up right now.
Yeah, find out for me. Look that up.
I'll pull the Coen Brothers. Yeah, you're probably right. 2007, 8.
Yeah, something like that. No,
2009.
Yeah, 2009. So I was around. I was there, so I went and saw it in the theaters back when I could do that.
Yeah, I'm going to leave this list up here so we can fall back.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. It's not the best. It's not a bad movie, but not a great movie. But I move on.
I give it a 5.
Yeah, I would agree.
I wish it's a movie I wish I enjoyed more.
Yeah.
I feel like but I also feel like it's a very specific movie that the Coen Brothers made for themselves and like their handful of friends, and that's really about it. They got the inside jokes, and that's it. Moving on.
Yeah,
I do like Michael Stahlberg in it a lot. He is fantastic.
Well, he's great. Oh, Michael Stahlberg's a fantastic actor. Yeah.
He is great.
He's always good. And this was the first time I ever saw him, so I didn't know how to handle him. I'm like, who's this guy? He's just like, but then I see him in other stuff, and like he's amazing in Boardwalk Empire. He's fantastic in Boardwalk Empire.
He's even good in Men in Black 3 or whatever.
Yes, yeah.
He's the best part of that shitty movie.
It is the best part, next to Jermaine Clement.
Yeah, that's true.
And Tommy Lee Jones or Josh Brolin.
Jermaine Clement.
Jermaine Clement.
Who I love because my son is obsessed with Moana. So Jermaine Clement plays.
He's in that one.
Plays the lobster, and I'm like, oh. And he sings a song. I'm like, yeah, there he is. There's Jermaine.
Hello.
Okay.
Jermaine, hello.
It's a little something for me during that movie.
That worked.
What do you have? So you
said
man for your number 18, right?
Yes, 17. I put Hail Caesar.
Well, hold on. We're still in 18. I gotta do my 18.
Oh, I'm sorry, 18. Yeah. So my 17. You're 18.
I have 18, and then 18A and B, because I did some extra credit. I watched everything they've directed that I could find.
Wow.
So my 18B in the bottom is Paris Je t'aime.
I've seen Paris Je t'aime, so I guess I can include that.
Which is fine. It was a little scene with Steve Buscemi on a platform.
In the train.
Train
on
platform.
The subway or whatever.
And some guy starts to beat the shit out of him, and then he just doesn't respond. And it's fine. It's not bad. It's just I liked it better than Serious Man because it was also 3 minutes.
That's true.
Right above that, my 18A, I have the Jesus Rolls, which is not technically, so that's why it's not a number.
Count.
I know, that's why it's an 18A. I finished it today. The first half of the movie I finished it today before we did this.
Wow.
The first half of the movie holds up with some of the funniest stuff the Coen Brothers have done.
Wow. Okay.
I'll say that. The first half of the movie is genuinely hilarious. They're all, it's what is that guy's name? Bobby, Yep.
Bobby Flay.
No, the guy from Blonde and there's a ton of stuff now. Why can't I think of his goddamn name?
Bobby Cannavale?
Yes. Him and John Turturro. They become friends, and then they try to. It's a stream of consciousness movie where they kind of drift from one thing to the other, and there's no real cohesive element other than the characters. And the first half is so goddamn funny because at this point he's talked him into being his lover, even though he admits that he doesn't want to be gay. The movie is outrageous and stupid, and it's a lot of fun.
That's pretty funny.
And then the second half of the movie is so fucking boring and stupid and slow.
Oh, wow.
Susan Sarandon shows up, and they have a lot of three-ways. But in the first half of the movie, there's Bobby Cannavale and John Turturro, and then that French girl from Amélie.
What? Audrey Tattoo?
They have a three-way.
She's in this?
And they're all horribly naked and having the most awkward three-way.
No. You get to see Judge turn naked?
Yeah. And it is fucking hilarious. Because
I have to see
like,
this movie now.
Her thing is she can't come. And they fail miserably at making her come during their three-way. And they go outside and they're just like in their shame.
Wow.
And then later Susan Sarandon comes involved and then leaves, and her son is Peter Davidson, and he gets out of prison, and then he fucks her and makes her come.
Peter Davidson, you mean Pete Davidson?
Pete Davidson makes her come.
Not Peter Davidson.
I'm not respecting the fucking guy. I don't give a shit. He fucks her and makes her come, and they get all jealous and they're hearing it outside. It does have its like high points, and it is funny, but like
what does this have to do with Big Lebowski?
Nothing.
Wow.
He gets out of prison in the beginning, and that's it.
So this is a prequel to the Big Lebowski.
No, it's after. It's way out. It's like he goes to prison after Big Lebowski and gets out in this movie.
Oh wow.
But it is, I would say, watch the first 45 minutes until you see Susan Sarandon and stop watching. I would say confident. You're not going to miss anything from there.
All right.
But the first half is like an 8 or 7. I'll say 7. Okay. The second half is like a 4. Okay. So it kind of meters out to like a 6 overall.
Right.
That's why I put it here.
Interesting.
And then my number 18 though is The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Wow, that low on the list, huh? You didn't like it?
Yeah. I liked a few segments here and there. The first one was a lot of fun. And then I did like the going west thing that was completely serious. I did like that one.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed Buster Scruggs. I did like that one more than you.
Again, this is a list of Coen Brothers. It's not, none of these I don't like.
Right, exactly.
It's the worst of the best, I guess you would say, for the Coen Brothers.
Right. And so my year 17, I guess then.
That was my 18. What's your
17? Okay, so 17 would be Hail Caesar.
Yes, okay.
I would say that because it's not. I mean, it's fine. Nothing like modern Coen Brother movies are just. I don't know. They're very similar but very different. I don't know. They're all absurd, and they're going like full on absurd. But they have a big cast because everybody wants to work with the Coen Brothers. So like they have these. The movies are okay, but what elevates them is the cast. But then again, even this one was just like, didn't do anything for me. Like it's funny. There's some good stuff in there, but I'm just like, I can't get into it as much as their other movies. Okay. Nothing personal. Just
we're going
I think the modern Coen just not as much.
I do have mine higher on the list, but it's coming up shortly. I'll say that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I saw this in the theater. I was very excited to watch this because when I saw George Clooney in the Coen Brothers movie, I'm like, yes.
Right.
Because I liked him every other time he's been in the Coen Brothers movie.
Sure, yeah.
But we'll talk about Hail Caesar in a second. My number 17 is another George Clooney movie, Burn After Reading.
That is my next one as well.
Burn After Reading. I actually hated this movie the first time I watched it.
Right.
I was like, fuck this fucking thing. And then I didn't watch it until I did this. Was preparing for this episode.
Right.
15 years off, whatever it's been. 20? Has it been 20 years? No, I don't know.
No, which one is it?
Burn After Reading was 2008.
2008.
Wow, yeah, for 15 years.
Yeah, 15 years ago.
I finally watched it and I go, not that bad actually. So
there's some funny bits. There's funny bits, yeah.
George Clooney, I think, is fucking hilarious in this movie.
He is.
His face is so goddamn hilarious.
When he shoots Brad Pitt in the forehead, that's one of the funniest bits. I think that's a pretty funny bit.
That's literally all I remember from the first time I watched this movie. Exactly. He shoots Brad Pitt in the forehead. Yeah, Brad Pitt's expression before he falls. That's all I remembered. And I was watching this, and I'm like, "Wow, I didn't give this movie a chance." Right. And that's why I wanted to do this episode because we're older now and see how it goes up for.
But I love John Malkovich.
Oh yeah,
he's great. Who the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck is this?
John Malkovich is severely confused and angry the entire movie.
Yes, and that's what makes it wonderful.
And it's in line with being John Malkovich.
Right,
it's right there with it. He's just confused and like
Malkovich.
Yeah. Get out of my fucking head.
It's my head.
Yeah. Fuck you, Malkovich. But I love there's a running gag through the movie where John Malkovich is trying to please his wife, so he has this incline thing on the bed to fuck her with, and at one point he grabs it and storms out. That's pretty funny. It's like this little, again, like Serious Man, these little bits that you get. This one just has a lot more of the humor with Frances McDormand and
and Richard Jenkins is great.
Richard Jenkins is fantastic in this movie.
He's playing that lovelorn, the poor guy loves Frances McDormand. You can't tell her, and it's so never. It's like, oh, come on, Jenkins.
Everything he finds out about her makes him go, oh, why do I love you? So much so that she tricks him into going into the basement and getting killed.
Right. She's an awful human being.
Awful human being. She brings everyone down with her. She does a thing where she goes into the Russian embassy at some point. And I'm like, I don't know any of this. But it was all fun this time around. I wasn't like my hopes weren't high, so I had a lot more fun this time around.
Well, like I said, when with Batman Begins, when I first saw that movie, I didn't like it, but then it grew on me as time went on. And now it's like, I think it's one of the best Batman movies ever made. But it just takes, sometimes things need time to percolate. That's why, like, if you're
expectations.
Yeah, like if you were like a critic, reviewer, I think you have to watch it at least 2 or 3 times before you have like a real nice concept of it. It's like
I agree.
Can't write a review on one viewing. I think that's the trouble of critiquing.
When I started this show, I'm starting to realize the second viewing is the one you're critiquing.
Right.
First viewing is your expectations of the actor, director, whoever it is, this genre. You have all these expectations, and it really doesn't matter your thought at the end of it. That second viewing is when you're going to go, okay, I know what they're going for. I'm not sitting there going, how much longer is it? I'm just kind of along for the ride the second viewing. And this was definitely the case with this.
Yeah.
Where I had a lot more fun the second time around. And I'll watch this again now. I don't have that grudge that I have this movie because I fucking hated this movie.
Right.
Like I was like, fuck this one. I hated it more than Serious Man.
Right. Okay. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Because of the cast. I was so excited for this cast. It's a Coen Brothers movie. And I'm like, movie has everyone. I love Richard Jenkins. And everyone's in this movie. And it's just kind of a letdown. And now I realize what they're going for, which is not much. Just a little weird espionage story. And it's always the Coen Brothers thing where people get in over their heads with stories they don't really understand.
Yeah,
it is a typical Coen Brothers movie. It's just with the new age, and I wasn't prepared for that, and now I am. I think it'll go up on my list more because my next one is Hail Caesar.
Oh wow, okay.
Because you said your number 15 is Intolerable Cruelty, or sorry, Brentford Reading, right?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I skipped one then. My next one is Intolerable Cruelty.
Oh wow, you got okay.
I saw this in the theater as well.
I did not see this in theaters, but I saw it later in life.
Right when I moved to LA. Literally within 2 or 3 days after going to LA.
Wow, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of the first things I did in LA.
I would say
Intolerable Cruelty.
One of my favorite parts of Intolerable Cruelty is Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah. He's great.
You bitch! my enemy, you bitch!
Shooting her. Jeffrey Rush is great in it.
Jeffrey, and he's in it like 3 times. He's in the beginning, middle, and the end, and it's the funniest shit.
Yes.
And him when he's in the alley with his award, and he's in. I'm in a meeting. Oh God, so fucking funny. And then he's shot at the very end. He pops up again. He's like the director. Like what was he? He's like the guy in charge of everything. He was back on top.
Yeah, it's like
producer or something.
This is another movie where I get why people don't like it. Because it is probably the lowest rated one that they did.
Is it really? I'm surprised. Yeah.
Well, this one has let's see here, 6.3.
Okay.
Burn After Reading has a 7. Serious Man, a 7. Inside Llewyn Davis, 7.4. Hail Caesar, 6.3 as well.
What about Lady Killers?
Lady Killers is 6.2.
Oh, there you go.
You notice how we haven't said Lady Killers yet?
Well, I'm about to.
Exactly. So am I. But
yeah,
I will say I really, really enjoy Intolerable Cruelty because it is a complete farce.
Yes.
It is making fun of like that 1960s set, like love movie with I don't know how to describe it, like the Rock Hudson, Doris Day movies.
Yeah.
A little bit. And then it's got.
Well, that's what it is. Yeah.
But it's like this romantic thing where they're both pieces of shit.
Yes.
But you're supposed to root for them for some reason. I don't know.
It's their Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn movie, basically. It's their 1940s throwback romance. Because they did it before with Hudsucker Proxy. They do that. They like those movies of that era because they always go back to them. Like Miller's Crossing has that feeling.
Man Who Wasn't There.
Man Who Wasn't There.
Of that, but yeah.
Barton Fink.
Lady Killers.
Yeah, a lot of it has that. But Lady Killers takes place in modern day, though.
No, but it has that.
Which is kind of the joke.
Simple.
Right, yeah. I think that's the point.
It's a remake of a movie from 55.
Exactly, yeah, that's the thing, yeah. Which, have you ever seen the original Lady Killers?
Yes. Several times.
Oh, have you? The original?
Yeah, I love it.
Was Alec Guinness?
Yeah. Okay. We'll talk about that here.
It's very British, very British.
Not too shortly, but shortly.
Yeah, because that's my next one is Lady Killers.
Okay, so
we're here.
Cruelty, though, I do love it, and it's I get why you wouldn't like it, though. So if you say you don't like it, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Not you. I'm just in general.
Oh yeah.
Like if I wasn't a huge Coen Brothers fan and know what they were doing, I would totally agree with you.
Yeah.
But, so you said your number 15 is what?
Lady Killers.
Okay. My number 15, we'll get to Lady Killers here in a second. My number 15 is going to be Hail Caesar.
Okay.
I do like the Tilda Swinton double role stuff. All those jokes work for me every single time they did it. She plays her own twin. And they both have reporter jobs, but at different outlets. Or Brolin's walking around and he'd be like talking to one and turning the other one's there. And he's like,
that's right. Yeah.
I love the politics and I love how he's playing them. Like he has to tell one person one story, so they report it this way, but the other person has to tell a different side of the story, so they report. So he's playing both sides of the whole movie. It's a fast-talking, fast-moving movie. It's not great.
Well, again, it's their Hudsucker Proxy of the modern age, basically. It's their love letter to the movies of the 60s, that era. Or the 50s to 60s.
Yeah, this
like
is
Spartacus.
Like 30s, 40s almost.
Right, yeah, but I mean, when those movies in the
communism was leftover from the 30s.
Yeah, I would say it's like the Spartacus. Dalton Trambone wrote for Spartacus, and he was a commie, and Kirk Douglas loved him, so he had to have him do the script for Spartacus, which is a great script. Dalton Trambone was a good writer, but he's a commie, so get him out. I don't want to look at him.
I guess the 40s would be the best example because
isn't it post-war? It's a post-war
the sailor movies, which was the 40s, and there's a scene in that movie that is one of my favorite Coen Brothers scenes, and it's very repetitive. But Ralph Fiennes is talking to young Han Solo, whose name is escaping me right now.
Who is also in Oppenheimer?
Yeah, is he?
He's an Oppenheimer.
He's doing that, and he's going.
He's working.
Young Han Solo is going. 'Twas if it were about, and he can't get it right because he's like a country western actor. And eventually, at the end of the movie, because Ralph Fiennes is calling Brolin, and Brolin's like, "Fucking do it! I don't give a shit."
Yeah.
And then Ralph Fiennes at the end is just like, and then you see the clip of the movie, and young Han Solo comes out and he goes, "It's difficult." That's what he says. Because he watched that scene for like 15 minutes, and it pays off so well, that little joke.
Right.
It's difficult to say or something like that. It just, oh my God, it gets me every time. My wife is even like, we'll make that reference from time to time.
Right. Yeah.
Because that joke was that effective.
Right. Yeah. Some things stay with you.
Yeah.
Little innocuous things always seem to have the most
impact. Yeah, it's just one of those. And I love it. And that's another movie that just has everyone in it and kind of a victim of overcasting.
Right.
But overall, harmless little movie.
Yeah,
it was a
that's
weird
fine. Yeah,
Red
it's
Scare plot
yeah.
line with a submarine and Channing Tatum that I don't quite understand.
Channing Tatum's a Nazi, yeah.
No, he's a communist leader.
Communist, yeah, right. Commie. I'm sorry.
Everything involving those communists who, I'm gonna put this in quotes, kidnap George Clooney, who's free to go at any moment.
Right, yeah.
He can just walk out of there. He just chooses not to because they have finger sandwiches. He kind of likes that he doesn't have to. He's not stressed out there, so he just keeps hanging out.
Yeah,
this is another thing I love.
And I like George Clooney.
I think I fucking love George Clooney.
He's great, and I do hope he keeps making Coen Brothers movies because he's been making them since 2000. Like I think he's in every Coen Brothers movie since "Oh Brother Where Art Thou?" Because that's his first one with Coen Brothers.
Serious Man.
Well, he's not in that one. Actually, he might be in that one. He shows up.
Davis. He's not in.
Okay, fine. 2.
No Country for Old Men.
Fine.
He's not in most of them. He's in 2.
Yeah.
No, but I know what you mean. I wish he were in all of them because even when he's serious, goddamn, he makes the movie better. When he's joking, he makes the movie way better.
Yeah.
Him and the Coen Brothers just have it feels like just a really effortless relationship where here's the script, do what you want, George. You know what's funny. Like he's a funny guy.
Yeah, he is.
Start off on sitcoms, just do your thing.
Yeah.
And his eyes, his expressions in his eyes are so hilarious every time I see him in all these movies.
Right.
He'll do especially Oh Brother Where Art Thou, which we're going to talk about way later.
Oh wow! Okay, I got to talk about that.
Oh wow! Next. I don't want to know.
That's my next film. Oh brother.
Okay, so that's my number 15. Hail Caesar. What is 14, your number 14?
14 would be Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
God damn, I hate you. All right, number 14. Hold on.
I don't have a connection to it. It's just I don't know. I think it came to me in the wrong time of life.
Again, we're going off my list just because it's second. So
yeah.
We'll get to that. And then my number 14, Inside Llewyn Davis.
See, I have that way higher than that.
Inside Llewyn Davis is another movie I watched and did not like it the first time.
Right.
Second time around, I appreciate it a lot more. Just because it's a performance movie, which I'm always in. Yeah. But I wanted more out of the story. I still do.
There's no money in it.
There's nothing in this movie that you can relate to.
Play that in this movie. Play what you got. There's no money in that.
Yeah.
I can't help you. There's no money in that.
The very end?
Yeah. When he gets to F. Murray Abraham.
And then he walks out and Bob Dylan goes to stage.
Yeah.
He's going to make a ton of fucking money off that.
It's the end of that weird folk music shit into the odd modern pop bullshit.
The mid to late 60s was just
terrible music.
Yeah. But it's all, the movie itself is kind of a drifting tale.
Right.
But the first time I was like, go somewhere. I was so impatient.
I don't know why, but yeah, I loved it the first time I saw it. I just, for some reason, it grabbed me. I like that one a lot. I'm not some monkey. I'm not some dancing monkey here.
That's the best scene in the movie.
And he does it anyway. 2 minutes later, he's doing it.
He gets invited into his friend's house, who lets him stay there with a stray cat, who he's just collected off the street.
Right, yeah.
And he's like, hey, friend. He's like, oh, and it's like one of those guys who's into the scene, but he's not actually in it. And he's like, oh, this is Llewyn, my musician friend. And then he's like excited to almost like present him to his hippie friends.
Right, yeah.
Here's my musician friend. And he's like, pulls out his guitar and he plays like 3 notes. And he's like, fuck this. Fuck you. And he just goes off on him.
Yeah.
That seems great.
Yeah.
And then he just like comes back later and he's like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. She's like, no problem.
Yeah. Come on. Well, it's the artist. It's the love of the artist. And forgive them for all the bad things they do because they're always awful people.
Yeah.
Those musicians, especially musicians, are just awful fucking people.
Llewyn is just really selfish and oblivious.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the point.
Every line Michelle Williams has in that movie is pointing that out to him.
Not Michelle Williams. I mean, you're thinking.
Who is it?
What's her name? It's the girl from Bad Education. She's a British woman. She was with.
Carey Mulligan.
Carey Mulligan. Yeah.
They're the same person.
Pretty much. You're not wrong, but yeah, just for sake of being.
All right, no, you're right. It's
truthful.
It is Carey Mulligan.
Yeah, Carey Mulligan.
Mulligan is I love how bluntly she talks to him. That's another thing I loved the second time around was he's like, "You're such a piece of fucking shit.
You're a piece of shit."
She's like, "All right, stay on the couch. Get the fuck out in the morning."
Yeah.
Like he makes everyone feel bad for him. Well, at the same time, they yell at him, and as soon as they yell at him, they're like, "All right, anyway, go ahead and sleep on the couch."
Right. Yeah.
There's that really awkward scene where he has that new guy he's with. I couldn't follow what the fuck was happening in that one. Like the military guy.
Oh,
who's also a musician. It gets weird.
Oh, yeah. I think isn't it? It's not Adam Driver, is it? Was that his character?
Yeah,
the Adam Driver guy. Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, I just remember that.
Yeah, because he's going to space, or so he's going to train to go to space.
Weird. Yeah, it seems kind of.
Yeah, well, he had the song. You rock to the moon, do go to the moon, and an awful folk music shit. And stupid Llewellyn Davis doesn't put his name on. He just gets paid for the session. He doesn't put his name on the album, which he would have made more money doing that if he did. But he's just an asshole.
He needs gas money so fast that
he's not interested. And John Goodman plays a heroin addicted jazz man, which is interesting.
Oh yeah, great. That's I remember that stuff from the first time around.
Yeah,
John Goodman. I love John Goodman,
but yeah, it's such a good movie, and we'll get.
I love when he looks below the table and finds out that Carey Mulligan was the one that was buying all his records.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, and he shoves them back under. Like he thought he was selling records, and no, it was just her.
Right. And he hates the fact that he's he's unsuccessful, and he thinks he's a genius, and I like that element. Reminds me of myself.
Yeah, I mean, I think we both can relate to this character, honestly. Like we're both try to do our. Like I've since killed this person in my own brain. Like, it's not going to happen. Don't give a shit. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it's fuck you. Why do you want it? No, you don't want it to. You really don't.
That's not even that. It's not. I just would like to work, like just to make something and have people like it. You know, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
and be like told, "Hey, I really enjoyed your work, and I hope you keep going."
Yeah, the recognition part. I get
make
that.
Some money. It makes just to support myself to the minimum. You know.
But I don't think I think you and I agree on that. Just the modest amount of recognition would be fun. Would be great.
Yeah.
But Llewellyn Davis, though, he's not going to settle for anything less than you're a massive star. Like I think if someone said I love your album, he'd go, who fucking cares? You like it.
Yeah. Like, he has to be John Lennon level success.
That part's fun. And
that's gonna happen. Yeah.
There is some genius in this movie, and I love how simple it is and how it doesn't give a fuck about getting you from point A to point B in any hurry. I like that about it.
Yeah.
It just kind of drifts and you're along for the ride. I like the slice of life movies when they're done well.
Yeah.
Because you see 1,000 of these movies done by independent filmmakers, especially like what's that one film? Focus Features does 1,000 of these movies.
Oh yeah.
And you're just like, who fucking cares?
Well, the worst one ever was what, 7 pounds, or what was that? The Will Smith movie where everybody in his life is telling him something, and it's like it's just so fucking up.
I saw it in the theater on Christmas. Ruined the Christmas.
That's right. Yeah. Oh my God. Talk about
it's miserable.
Oh Jesus, it's horrible. That's horrible.
Yeah, that was a miserable Christmas because he kills himself in that bathtub at the end. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. No. So what is your number?
What is your number 13? That was my number 14. What's your 13?
True Grit.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's do my number 13. We'll get to True Grit later. Hold on. Again, we're going off my list.
Okay.
What we're discussing.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Yes. You're right.
Wow. You have True Grit really low. Okay.
Yeah.
My number 13 is The Lady Killers.
Okay.
Saw this in the theater as well. What is that? Number 2 that I've seen. So Intolerable Cruelty, Hail Caesar, and Lady Killers. I'm third on the list that we've gone through so far. Saw this in the theater. I really, really think this movie's hilarious. I really do. Any thoughts on Lady Killers? Just gonna sit there.
No, it's funny. No, I'm just trying to. I'm trying to remember it because I didn't rewatch it. But I saw it years ago, and I just was like, I don't want to rewatch that. It's fun. It didn't wow me then, and I think it was because of the whole IBS, IBS, like that stuff. Kind of, I was like, it's all right. I don't know. Not my favorite, but I did enjoy it. But I mean, I try to like every Coen Brother I come out liking. It's just I don't love it as much as something else, that they've done.
Yeah.
And I think when you get to my top 3 or top 4, you'll kind of understand, this is where you go with Coen Brothers. This is kind of your wheelhouse with Coen Brother movies.
I would say my top 7 are movies I watch once every like year and a half.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Like they're that good where I sit there and watch them. Well, my top 15, I would say I watch top 12 or so I watch consistently enough.
Right.
But I would say Lady Killers, not great, but I really do enjoy it. I think everyone's great in it. I love Marlon Wayans. Tom Hanks has a great little role there where he plays like the Colonel from KFC for some reason.
I'm a gentleman now.
He talks like a foghorn leghorn.
And then Marlon Wayans gives him a lot of shit, which is funny.
Yes. Marlon Wayans is the inside man in the casino, and he's like so ghettoed out.
Right, yeah. He's almost playing the character from Don't Be a Menace in South Central.
That's exactly what he's doing, I think.
That's what that's the joke.
I really think they had a conversation and said, you're going to play the same character because he has like the fucking hair coming out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he does. It's kind of funny, yeah.
He's also really disrespectful to the old lady whose house they're in, and then she keeps slapping him, and then like makes him go, I do apologize.
Who was the woman in that movie? The actress that played the woman.
I don't know.
I'm sure she's dead now, but
let's see. She was Irma Hall. She is still alive. Born in 1935.
Oh shit.
She's in Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. She plays Minerva. Holy shit. Collateral, Ida, Nothing to Lose. I love all 4 of these movies that she's known for. I really do love all 4 of those movies. Damn. Okay, lady.
She's been around.
She's in 4 upcoming projects. She's still working.
She's still working? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
She must bury her fingers in the backyard and grow more buys of herself.
Exactly.
I
honestly have nothing else to say about Lady Killer. So what's your number 12?
Intolerable Cruelty, which we already talked about.
My number 12, The Man Who Wasn't There.
Okay. That's 2 more up from my list. That comes kind of in the middle, so it's two away. We're 2 away from Billy Bob's Black and White Fest.
It's in the vein of Soderbergh's The Good German, which is the throwback black and white movie that they did just because they wanted to, and kudos to them for trying.
Yeah,
this is way better than The Good German, though. The Good German's really fucking boring.
The Good German is boring.
This one, this plot is intricate. This plot involves aliens for some reason toward the end. I don't quite know why or how it plays into the rest of the movie, but Frances McDormand's character is like this sad storyline where she plays like the manipulative wife. She's been fucking James Gandolfini the whole time, and eventually Billy Bob kills him, but she gets blamed for it and gets executed. I don't quite. It's a strange little tale. Again, Coen Brothers. A guy gets involved with a dangerous plot, and he has no idea what's happening. That's the Coen Brothers love that.
Yes, they do, because Fargo, Blood Simple, Raising Arizona, they're all pretty much the same plot. All of them.
Hudsucker. He doesn't know what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah. He's thrown into it. Yeah.
Yeah. They love that shit. No Country for Old Men. He has no idea what's happening. He's like, oh, I found some money, and then the rest of the movie unfolds.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's very simple, similar. They're all this. Yeah. I don't know if it's a theme with them.
Hail Caesar. He doesn't know what's going on. Why is he kidnapped? Okay.
Exactly.
Let's get him back.
Yeah. Sure.
Even A Serious Man. Like a bad version of that. He doesn't know what's happening or why it's happening. He's just like, I just want to take care of my wife and kids, and Again, he's getting cheated on. It's unfaithful wives and men get killed because of it. But Man Who Wasn't There, solid movie. Check it out. I love when he stabs James Gandolfini in the throat with a pen. Comes out of nowhere and just
Man.
What's your number 11?
Number 11 is Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Okay, way higher than mine.
Yeah, number 11 is kind of the middle area.
My number 11, Blood Simple.
Okay, yeah. Well, I like
thought
that.
It would be higher.
I had that higher. Yeah, I'm a fan of Blood Simple. I like that one. It's very interesting, especially when it's the first movie and you watch it. You're just like, wow, this shit is so simple yet so effective, and they know what they're doing with this. I mean, you could tell they're going to be masters from day one because that movie is so well done. And it's like a movie you would never give two shits about, if it wasn't Coen Brothers.
Yeah.
Like if it was just some random movie, it's about, a girl has the money and it's like ripping somebody off and blah, blah, but the way that Emmett Walsh is such an awful monster in that movie.
His scenes where he punches through the wall to pull a knife out of his own hand.
Yes.
It will not leave my brain.
It's awesome. It's so awesome. No.
Everything about that movie is it's
just
except
well made,
the plot, but visually it's in my brain. Because visually it is, I can see why these guys became who they are. But I will say, compared to the rest, it's one of those movies where compared to the rest of my list, it's below that. It's below that.
Yeah.
But I love Blood Simple. I really do.
Yeah, Blood Simple is good.
It is. You should definitely check out Blood Simple. It is a fun movie with terrible people doing terrible things and then getting terrible results because of it. It's typical Coen Brothers. They started that right from the beginning.
Yes.
All right. What is your number 10?
Let me double check on this one.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's right. Barton Fink, number 10.
Okay. We'll talk about that in a second here.
And my number
hold on.
Next I had
No, you're good. Number 10 is Barton Fink. My number 10, The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Okay.
I'm not going to ruin anything for you because you haven't seen it. I will just say definitely worth a watch. I was very surprised how much I loved it.
Right.
It's in my top 10 Coen Brothers movies. Like I did not expect that. I turn it on. I'm like, fuck, here we go.
Right.
Like the first 20 minutes, I'm like, this is interesting looking, but I don't care. But I realized at one point I'm actually following what's happening in a Shakespeare story.
Right.
They're talking like the original text.
Right.
Denzel and Frances McDormand are so fucking good in this movie.
Right.
And Corey Hawkins is I forget the character's names, but he's in there too. And I was like, God damn, they're good. And they did they shot it all on a set. So it looks otherworldly. I can't explain how it is visually fascinating for being shot on one little set.
Is it Roger Deakins again?
That I can't remember. Let me pull up. I need to go to.
Well, Roger Deakins is who they use all the time.
Yeah,
that seems to be their go-to cinematographer. It's always Roger Deakins. So I'd be surprised if it was somebody else.
Oh, sorry, it's right here. I was trying to look for it, but it's hard to look up a cinematographer on IMDb. You got to go into the full cast. 1 second. Bum bum bum. Cinematography. Come on. It is really hard to look up a cinematographer in IMDb. There's editorial, costume, casting, animation, camera, stunts, visual effects, special effects, sound department, costume, set decoration, casting, editing. Oh no, it's Bruno Delbonnel. So Bruno Delbonnel did the cinematography. It wasn't
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, Deakins I would recognize right away because Shawshank and all that. He has a very distinct visual style, but this movie camera's not moving a whole lot, but the sets and everything about it it's fascinating because it looks like it's not made on Earth is the best way I can describe it.
Right.
but it works. The whole fucking movie. Denzel, I don't know how he didn't win an Oscar for this. It's kind of a shame.
Was it last year?
It was 2021. Oh, was that Will Smith's year?
2022. Was it?
So it would have been 2022 that he won. So lost. So that was Will Smith's year. Yeah.
Yes, because shit. Because he won Best Actor for the Sabrina Williams movie. He played the coach, so he won the Oscar for Best Actor.
That was 2 years ago.
Was that
this year?
That was yeah. Was that? Wow.
Oh, what a fucking waste. Yeah, it's
interesting.
Denzel's way. I haven't seen that other movie, but because I never will. But goddamn, Denzel's great in this, and I just watch it as a visual feast because it is a whole fucking meal just visually. Because there's some scenes where they're outside and you're like, oh, okay, this is actually oh no, this is a studio too, and it's like this massive like apple orchard thing. The trees were going down. I'm like, oh, it looks so creepy because they had complete control over like the sky, so they could do whatever the fuck they wanted. It looked, oh my god, it looks so cool. But I digress. So let's go to your number 9.
Number 9 for me was The Man Who Wasn't There, which we talked about. So I put that number 9. I enjoyed that one.
My number 9, Barton Fink.
Okay, yeah. It's not a bad movie. It's just a different kind of movie. It's very slow. It's very, very melodic. It's like a weird character study of an era that doesn't exist. Like it's very specific because he's trying to write a boxing movie, which he doesn't want to do.
Yeah,
and it's just like just hey Barton.
Yeah,
John Goodman shows up. He's just great.
It's the closest you're going to get to a stage play of a Coen Brothers movie. This could be a play. There's 3 locations. Because you get he has a couple quick scenes there where he's talking to like the studio execs.
Right.
You need to finish the screenplay. Come on, and that's it. Yeah. But you really could. This could be a stage play.
Oh yeah.
And it's just a man falling apart, losing his love with writing, and another man finding a friend that he thinks he can relate to, but he can't.
Right. Yeah.
Realizing that, escaping, and then coming back to burn the fucking place down.
And he gives him his wife's head in a box.
Yes. It is a very weird movie. I remember there's a Simpsons joke about this movie.
Barton Fink! Barton Fink! We're going to sneak into an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
Barton Fink! Yeah! Barton Fink! Barton! It's one of the best jokes ever.
It's a movie that I watched and I was like, I love this movie. Like immediately. And I couldn't quite place my finger on why, and I still can't. It's just there's not a lot going on, but it's just 2 characters for the most of the movie.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, some other character will show up for a quick scene, but it's just like I said, it's a stage play. It's the cheapest stage play you can ever produce. It's all dialogue. Nothing much happens, and then suddenly it goes insane. Suddenly the movie's like fuck everything, burning it down, and that's why it's fun. What's your number 8?
I had Inside Llewyn Davis for my 8th one.
Damn, okay.
I would put that in the top 10 of Coen Brothers movies for some reason.
This is where I had True Grit.
Okay, interesting.
If it weren't for my second rewatch, True Grit would be way lower. But the second I watched it again for my list, and I was like, I like this movie more than I thought I did. One of those things. I honestly have nothing to say about it.
Well, it's pretty much cut and paste the script, the book in the script, the original version. It's essentially everything is exactly the same. I think the only difference is the ending is different.
Yeah, the ending.
She's an old maid with no arm, and in the original in the movie version, she doesn't get bitten by a snake, and she doesn't have that issue where no one likes her, and she is an old.
The original version, you mean?
Yeah, the original version with John Wayne.
This and then funny because this movie, the best scene is when she gets bit by the snake. Because he's
right, yeah,
the fucking horse dies, and then he picks her up and he starts running.
Right, yeah, it's done. It's well done, and it looks. I think Matt Damon kills it for me because I don't like Matt Damon in this movie.
He's annoying.
I don't like his character. I don't like him in it. I think he's miscast. And at this point in his career, he was kind of in everything. And I was just like, okay, take a break, Matt. I don't care anymore.
He was. I completely agree with everything you just said. He was Interstellar. He'd show up for a scene, and then
right, yeah,
he's doing The Martian. He was just in everything around this time. Yeah, I mean that's valid. The Departed, he was in.
Yeah,
2 years previous, he was in fucking everything during this period, but didn't distract me from liking the movie because I love Jeff Bridges in this movie and what's her name, Hattie,
Haley Atwell.
Haley Atwell. Okay, she's great in the movie.
Yes, she
for
is.
a kid actor. Holy shit, she does a stellar job, and I love it all the way through. And I like westerns though, so if you're not in the westerns, it's probably gonna be lower, but.
Yeah,
it's just a good movie. I liked it the first time, and I went, all right, I'm never gonna watch that again though. And then I ignored it, and then I finally watched it because I'm like, I barely remember it, and I was like,
right.
I'm glad I'm rewatching this because I'm enjoying this way more the second time.
Yeah.
What's your number 7?
Number 7 is going to be Fargo.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My number 7. This is going to be way higher on your list. We're probably going to swap number 7 and number 2 here. My number 7 is No Country for Old Men.
We are swapping. That's exactly right.
I figured as much.
Correct. That is correct.
We have discussed our Coen Brothers movies, and I remember your list.
Yeah.
We did our loose memory list. Yeah. No Country for Old Men. Fantastic fucking movie. And again, this is the top 10 is whatever your preferences are. You can't go wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fantastic fucking movie. I love the fact that you don't really see what's going on in the movie. It's just you're watching these psychopath characters or these confused characters just go through the motions. If I could, that's how I see it.
Well, and the sound on that movie, the sound design on that movie is absolutely fantastic.
Cinematography,
the shotgun with the size. That's so wonderful. And that was not a real thing. The shotgun silencer has now become a real thing because of this movie. Well, they actually made one.
I think the idea was it was not just a shotgun; it was a cattle prod. He made shoot projectiles. I think that's what they were going for.
Well, he has the cattle prod where it just shoots a pin through your head and kills you instantly, basically. You step side over here. And fucking, I mean, Anton Chigurh is the greatest, one of the best street villains ever.
I would say top 5.
Top 5, absolutely. Javier Bardem is fucking awesome.
We did our villain list. I didn't put him, I don't think, that high because I was kind of doing I wasn't really doing like my serious. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
Cameron Diaz from Vanilla Skies was number 1. So
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Cameron Diaz.
That scene. Okay, this movie comes down to 2 scenes for me for Anton Chigurh. One of them is the elderly gas station patron.
Yes,
not patron. The guy who's running the cash register.
Right. Yeah.
He makes him flip a coin. He goes, I need to know what I'm betting on. He goes, everything. It's like, but I don't, and he never understands it. And he's like, he lets him live because he happened to win, and the guy doesn't know. He's like, okay, bye. But then the next scene we figure out how serious it was, because the next scene I want to mention is when he's doing that with James Brolin's wife.
Yes.
And he's in her little trailer in the bedroom. It's like this little closed off, like it is not cinematic at all.
Yeah, that's what I love.
That's perfect scene. And she's like, and she loses, and so he kills her. You're like, oh man, he almost killed that old man from 45 minutes ago.
Like, yeah.
You realize how much that meant now.
Yeah,
I love it. It's
he had the chance to save you, and he didn't take it. Call it.
And all because
I'm not gonna call it.
All because Brolin stumbled upon a crime scene and took the money.
No. Okay. The reason Brolin gets in trouble is because he felt bad. He went back to give the guy water like 4 hours later, and that's when they caught him. And that's when he's fucked. If he never goes back, he gets that bag, he opens it up, he finds the transmitter, throws that away.
Okay, you're right, but you know what I mean.
He's good. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Him going back was stupid because his truck is there, so they know who he is, and that's it. All you need to do is know who he is, and they go after him, and they're going to get him eventually. And
in the middle of nowhere, Texas.
Right, because they're just following his trail, and they know who he is, so it's not, and they have 1,000 guys after him because they're all cartel guys. So they have a bunch of cocaine cowboys coming after him.
And you don't really see much of that.
No. Well, it's basically the book, though.
You don't see anything with that.
It is cut and paste the book.
All you see is Anton.
Yeah.
And he's like a solo guy, and he doesn't quite have a plan other than I'm tracking this. But you don't really know where he's going next. I don't think he knows where he's going next, other than
hell no.
He's like a dog sniffing in the wind, like, oh, I smell a little scent over there, and so he'll go there.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what makes him so fantastic is he's
like a dog chasing cars. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I caught one.
Yeah, exactly. He's just like going from scene to scene, but he steals every scene he's in.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
He is definitely like I honestly would put him in like top 3 movie villains of all time. Like, he's fantastic in this. I love how he does them.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, he is. Yeah, he's pretty damn solid. Yeah.
But I also love the punk rock attitude of following the novel. Let's kill our main character of the movie off screen.
Yeah.
You stumble upon it by seeing his legs, and it's like, oh, there's this stupid button-up flannel shirt that's tucked in.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, you're fucking, wait. As an audience member, you're like,
he died. He's dead in his hotel doorway? That's it?
And you're sitting there, like, after the scene, you're, like, waiting for the Tarantino flashback, and it never happens. The movie's like, we're moving on. We're moving on.
Yeah, no, it's a serious movie. It doesn't fuck around.
It is. And they won Best Picture.
But yes, rightfully so.
It does have...
Blood Simple is mine.
Can I say one last thing?
Yes, please.
It has one of my favorite lines from a movie ever that sticks with my brain. Where Tommy Lee Jones, elderly Tommy Lee Jones, is sitting there talking, and he goes, he's talking about how his dad is dead, and he goes, when I dream about my dad, he's a younger man. Right. And I was like, when this movie come out? 2007. When this movie 7. So I was 23. And even I was like, oh fuck, that is a trippy concept.
Right.
Like, it's trippy to be older than your dad in your dream. Like, that is, I was like, that is heavy. Like, that really hit me as a 24-year-old. And I was like, that is true. Like, I never thought about that concept in my life.
Whoa.
If you outlive your parents, if you dream about them, you're older. That's weird. Just a thought I had. Sorry.
No, it's interesting. It's fine.
Yeah, go ahead with your number 6.
Blood Simple.
Okay. Much higher.
I like it. 2, 3, yeah.
It deserves it.
Blood Simple is the first movie, and I didn't watch that one until years later. And when I saw it, I was really surprised at how good it was. Like with the Emmett Walsh scene where he stabs, he just stabs his hand to the wall, and he has to basically break a window to get to it. Just great shit, great makeup effects for that. For them being a no budget movie, and Francis McDormand's great in it, and it has that guy from Life Force in it. For some reason, he's in a bunch of movies in this era.
Emmett Walsh is in the bathroom.
Yeah,
Francis McDormand is on the other side of the wall in the living room. There's a window here for her, window here for him. He's reaching around trying to grab her.
Right.
He stabs his hand.
Yeah.
He has to punch through the wall and
pull
the knife out of his own hand. It sticks with me to this day.
Yeah, it's very well done.
Oh man, it is brutal. I can't disagree with you having that as number 6. I really can't.
Yeah, I felt like it's like the proper place to put it because it's when they were starting out, but they were still pretty. This is the start of their career, where this section of their career, the first 8 years of their career is phenomenal. I mean, it's just they make great movie after great movie after great movie. They don't stop until about, I would say Big Lebowski 98, and then they did.
Yeah, then it drops off.
Then they kind of drop a little bit,
except for No Country.
But No Country, they kind of come back with No Country. Yeah,
No Country was their saving grace, and then it was just really far down from there. But
yeah.
I mean, to to your point, what you just said, I'm the only one that had Blood Simple lower, because other than that, the rest of our movies are within their first decade.
Yeah.
Because my number 6 is going to be Oh Brother Art Thou, and that is a movie I did not like the first time around.
Okay.
I watched it and I go, this movie's stupid, and I turned it off and I was like, I'm never going to watch that again. And then it just happened to be on, and then I watched it and I was like, oh, this is pretty funny. And then it, like, very, very slowly built up on me, kind of like a genre of music you're into, where one song just kind of like hits you for some reason in a weird, like it vibrates the same way you do. And I was like, okay, okay. And I picked up on the Odyssey references like right away, especially with John when he's throwing the frog and he squishes it. He's clearly supposed to be the Cyclops.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I picked up on that.
Well, John Goodman has an eye patch. So one eye. Yeah.
But so
I don't get it. I don't get it, Big Dan.
Because I was thinking back like to the Armand Assante Odyssey made for TV movie. Do you remember that?
Right. Oh, it's a good one. Yeah.
So that's what was in my mind when I was watching it. So I'm like, oh, I'm picking up on this. Okay.
Very good. Very good.
Again, me and my mom watch TV movies a lot.
That's hilarious.
But eventually, it just really. My friends were like, "You need to watch. Come on, man! It's really solid." Like, me and my friend from high school, my best friend, were like really in the Coen Brothers, and I was like, "Fuck that one." And he talked me into it, and I was like, all right, you're right. And it just like slowly wore on me.
Yeah.
Now I fucking love it. And it's just fantastic. And again, if you have it lower, I get it. But it's number 6 on my list.
That's good.
Any thoughts on Oh Brother?
I mean, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I think I saw it when I just, that song is all I remember. And that song was everywhere because it kind of takes me away from it and out of it. Because it's like,
what is it? The Muddy Bottom Boys?
Fucking Soggy Bottom Boys. And
Soggy Bottom.
I'm a man called sorrow. And it's just like, and Stephen Root.
Yeah.
Blind Stephen Root. Yeah, very good. And I just did my always one of the lines I repeat for that movie is I'm a Dapper Dan man. God damn it. I like that one. And he goes, no need to curse, son.
So all the fun stuff in that movie is him yelling at John Turturro and why am I blanking on his name?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's in Buster Scruggs.
Buster Scruggs.
Tim Blake Nelson.
Tim Blake Nelson. Yeah. All the best stuff is him yelling at them because he thinks he's superior.
Right. Yeah.
And then when they think that John Turturro turned into a frog, or Tim Blake Nelson turned into a frog, goddamn. And then John Goodman goes and squishes it and throws it. And John Turturro loses his fucking mind.
Yeah.
It took a long time to grow on me, so I get if you haven't seen it that many times, if it hasn't, but
I see to sit down and rewatch it one of these days.
Yeah, I will say think of the Odyssey when you watch it and you're like, I get what they're going for.
I knew that. I knew that was the point of that movie.
What's your number 5?
Number 5 is
this is where we get into our serious discussion.
Raising Arizona.
Okay, we'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah, Raising Arizona.
My number 5, the Hudsucker Proxy.
Mine's number 4.
Oh, so we're swapping. My number 4 is Raising Arizona.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah,
I knew our top 3 would be actually top. Turns out your Fargo is way below. Whatever. Hudsucker Proxy. If you didn't grow up in this movie, you're probably not going to have it in your top 15.
Right.
I'll say that. You're going to not like it, probably.
Well, you're going to be like, hey, it's too old-fashioned. What is this? This is weird. It's like, I think you have to be a movie fan to understand what they're going for in Hudsucker Proxy.
Yes, but also I think you have to have grown up on this movie.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're a movie fan, you'll go, that's okay. Like, it's good. You probably put it like number 12.
No, because I watched it when I was young back in the day, but I rewatched it recently, like 6 months ago. Or not even 6 months ago. Like
it holds up.
2 months ago. No, I forgot how good it was.
Yeah.
Like, it's very good. It's very enjoyable.
If you're Gen Z, you didn't see this movie growing up, now you're gonna go, fuck this. Like, I don't care. Like, it's fine.
Gen Z can suck my dick. They don't like anything. They're gonna be offended by everything. They're gonna be,
they're the ones who pay our.
They don't give a shit. What are you talking about? Where's my checks in the mail?
You know
Come
what?
on, Gen Z.
No, it's I think it definitely does help having grown up on it. Kind of like Barton Fink.
Oh shit!
It helps if you've seen that movie growing up.
Oh sure, yeah.
There are just certain movies that it helps to have the nostalgia factor to enjoy it more.
Well, Raising Arizona.
I think the reason we like Temple of Doom is because we grew up on that. Like I think because you hear fresh audiences when they watch that, they go, "This is fucking racist and terrible." And you're like, I wasn't thinking about that when I was a kid. Like,
they're just a bunch of pussies.
It's a creepy movie. That's what I'm saying, though. This Hustler Proxy helps to have grown up on it. Right. I watched this my entire. That came out when I was 10. I watched it immediately. I love this movie.
It's a big room in a big city. Here you are. Yeah, come on. I think he's an imbecile.
Tim Robbins is playing a sap who works in the mailroom, and it is very Terry Gilliam's Brazil. The mailroom,
it is.
Very much so Brazil.
Yeah,
like the bureaucracy, and you got to time it. You got to punch in here, and you got to leave here, otherwise you're fired. If you don't do it, you're fired. But if you do this, you're fired. Like that sort of thing, where it's just like these ridiculous rules, and he has to he's like doing this thing where he's trying to follow the rules, but he doesn't know where to go.
Yeah.
And then he finally does it, and he raises to the rank because he has to take the, what color was it, to the top floor, like the pink envelope,
green envelope was for the top
whatever it is.
Emergency. You have to take it, and it supersedes everything.
Yes, it overrides anyone who's on the elevator because the guy goes, "You have a pink envelope," and he goes,
"You didn't tell me that."
He goes, breaks the elevator glass, and he goes to the top, and then he's like, "Get out of here!" And then it's Tim Robbins going, and he can't get a word in for like 3 minutes. It's just It is purposely making fun of the bureaucracy of major, like huge corporations and how soul crushing and insignificant you are there. It nails all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be stupid. It's supposed to be over the top. He invents the hula hoop. He invents the frisbee.
It's for the kids.
The best joke, one of the best jokes in any movie ever, is when he holds up that circle with the coffee stain.
Yeah.
He just holds up a circle on a napkin.
Yeah. For the kids.
Just, for the kids.
Yeah.
And
I love that scene where they got in the store and like the sticker price keeps going down, and it's like buy one get 5 free or something like that. And then they all the kids are out of school and they're running down the street, and this little weirdo kid has it because it came out. He picks it up, he starts playing with it, and all the kids stop. They go, "Ah!" And he goes running for the back to the store, and he takes all the stickers down, and it's like there's like $10 a piece. It's so funny.
It's great.
It's well done. It's really.
Did you see him like disheveled in his office and have that like ticker tape stock market thing coming out? And it's just like, oh, what do I do? And then Jennifer Jason Leigh's playing like this very, very New York reporter.
She's basically Maude from Big Lebowski.
Yeah,
the proto Maude. And she's playing that character from the 40s of that quick talking sassy girl. That's gonna turn you in, sucker. Look at I'm a grill.
She's trying to relate to him, so she's like, "What college?" He's like, "What college did you go to?" And she says the college he went to, and he's like, "Oh!" And he starts singing. She's like,
she sings. Yeah, she's trying to catch up with words. What was it though?
The clockmaker guy who can stop time as he's jumping down.
Yes, yeah. It's a bizarre. Again, this is their Frank Capra.
Yeah,
their Frank Capra movie.
Yeah, you're right. It's Frank Capra meets Brazil.
Right, and because Frank Capra would always have like the Clarence the Angel, and at the end you have Charles Durning. Charles Durning is the angel. It's a hilarious part. And I love that part where the other guy goes, "Hey, we can't do this," and he runs. He tries to jump out the window. He goes, and good old
Paul Newman.
Paul Newman goes, "Plexiglass. I have installed the other day."
Yeah.
Oh God, it was funny.
My wife laughed hysterically when I was watching that movie during that scene.
Oh, that's funny.
All she saw was that. I was like, right, because I knew it was going to happen. I go, all right, so that his boss just jumped out the window previously, And I set that up and waited for the scene to happen. She started laughing like when he plexiglass.
Yeah, it's funny.
Paul Newman's great in that movie.
And I guess they said they waited 10 years for Paul Newman to say yes on that movie.
Worth
Paul Newman said he didn't want to do comedy. He didn't know if he could do it. And they said, it's fine. We're going to wait. Because Jack Nicholson could have got that part too. That was another person. Because they were going to make that movie in the 80s. They were going to make that movie after Blood Simple.
I'm glad they waited, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I got
weird.
Tim Robbins. Tim Robbins wouldn't have been in that role in 84.
No.
85, whatever.
No.
Like, who fucking knows who it would have been, but it would have been just a drastically different movie. They wouldn't have been as precise. They wouldn't have got Charles During. It would have been a very different movie. And Paul Newman is a big part of that because he plays the bad guy.
Yeah, he's fucking great.
And
he's really
he smokes really 55 cigars in this movie.
Yes,
you're in the cigars. This is a cigar movie.
Oh yeah.
All right, that's my number 5 though. That's your number 4.
Number 4 was
right?
No, Hudsucker's number 4.
Okay, my number 4 is Raising Arizona.
Yes, my number 5 was Raising Arizona. So we swapped.
Yeah, we swapped.
Yeah,
Very
yeah. Raising Arizona is one of the best comedies ever made, probably. It really is.
Yeah. I'm not going to argue with you. It's the first comedy I watched and became alive.
Yeah. So interesting side note there.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
So Raising Arizona, the dad, Ed Jr.'s father, the guy that had the furniture store.
Yeah.
So he was an actor that was in everything from like 1985 to 89. Like he was a Texas actor. I guess Brett Spiner knew him. He went to school with him, and they were both fellow actors. He died right after, I think, Raising Arizona. So he was going to be in a bunch of he was going to be like a character actor that would be in everything, and he was only like 40 years old. He just looked old. He was the kind of guy that was young, but he could play 60 years old.
I'm trying to find
screen.
him here.
It's not Nathan Jr. Or I'm talking about wife swapping, boy.
Yeah, Trey Wilson.
Yeah.
He died. He was in Twins, Bull Durham. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, listen to this top 4. Raising Arizona, Bull Durham, Twins, Married to the Mob.
Yeah.
That's a solid top 4.
He's in every single big late to early 90s. I think he dies.
His first movie's FX. No, sorry. That's not accurate. That's where it stopped. FX he's in.
Right.
From 76 on. What happened to Class 65? Vampire Hookers, Dallas, Lord of the Rings. Oh
my God. Not that Lord of the Rings.
No, different. And last thing was, you're right. He died in 89 at age 40. Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, no, that's what Brett Spiner told me that. He didn't tell me that. He said in a podcast. I heard it. And I was like, oh my God.
Cerebral hemorrhage. Oh my God.
Yeah, sad. Like he was
that is depressing as hell.
He was on his way to just being in every movie as a character actor, and the guy could play any part.
Well, can I say this?
Died.
The film Sounds of the Lambs was dedicated to Trey Wilson.
Really?
Yeah. He must have done some incredible favor, or it was like best friends with. Yeah.
Well, because Demi did do Married to the Mob.
Yeah.
That's why I
must have loved him.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
One of those actors that everyone loves. Yeah. Raising Arizona is possibly the earliest movie memory for me.
Really? Okay.
Which is partially where the Cage fascination started.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Like it's Raising Arizona. I watched. I can't even tell you how much. It wasn't consistent like Ghostbusters, but it was like I fucking love Raising Arizona.
Oh yeah, it's great, son. You have a panty on your head.
The scene with William Forsythe and John Goodman eating cereal at the bar of his trailer is a non. Who cares about that? I love it. I love that scene more than most movies.
Why don't you breastfeed him?
William Forsythe.
Why don't you breastfeed him?
Because he's got
eating frost
dripping down his chin while he says that line.
Eating cornflakes, pouring sugar on it, eating milk, and smoking and eating cereal.
John Goodman,
time. Fucking love it. It's just so great.
the scene where him and John Goodman free for themselves from prison is mud.
Oh, he's upside down.
It's so dramatic, and the scene. My wife was laughing hysterically at the scene where they're driving and they're like, "Yeah, talking about the baby because they have the baby now." I'm like,
yeah.
Where's the baby? And they realized the last place they put it was on top of the car. Goes to the scene. He's punching the scene.
Oh, it's great. What'd you do?
I'm almost 40 years old. I'm like crying thinking about that scene right now. Just talking about it.
Oh,
it is
so good.
It really should be like my number one.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the Coen Brothers here.
Yeah.
As far as funny goes, it is the Coen Brothers' funniest movie.
Oh, absolutely, I think. Well, next to Big Lebowski.
Yes, I paused there at the end of that sentence. But 3. I think visually this movie's funnier.
Right, yeah.
Big Lebowski's funnier with dialogue. Way funnier with dialogue.
Right.
Well, visually, not as funny.
Well, Raising Arizona is more like a Warner Brothers cartoon.
It is. It's so goddamn hilarious, though.
And just the way Nicolas Cage acts and the way just the noises he makes, where he's getting crushed. He's getting bear hugged by Tex Cobb.
The scene where Tex Cobb shows up and throws the knife, and Nick Cage goes with a board, and
he just looks at him.
He looks at the knife, and then
so funny.
Again, this started my love for Nick Cage.
Oh, and when he goes up in the trailer to hit John Goodman, he scrapes his knuckles on the sleeve. He goes, ah! Remember that?
Oh yeah,
that fight in the trailer is hilarious.
Yeah, everything's goddamn hilarious about it, and I love the Randall Tex Cobb introduction because he's on a motorcycle, and it's just like this creepy cam, and it goes up the ladder, and it goes into the room.
Yeah.
It's oh my god, it is a very underrated movie. What does this have on IMDb? 7.3.
It's got to be 7.3. Wow, it has to be at least an 8.5.
I give it a 9.
Yeah, it's solid.
It's 145,000 reviews though, so 7.3 is not that bad. But like, I give it more, but it is fantastic. It's I think even now, if you were to watch this fresh, not having grown up on it, like
absolutely,
I think you'll fucking love it.
I think this is one of those you got to go look up first reaction YouTube clips, and I'm sure people who watch this movie would love it and be like, "Oh, this is fucking great! What is this?"
I would love to hear your reaction to watching that. So see if there are some of those.
Oh yeah, well I've been watching them, and I don't think they've done No Country for Old Men. They've
put in a request.
Well, I don't talk to those people.
Why not?
I don't like talking to people online.
We'll do it, and then I'll tell them we'll play their reaction here on the show.
Very good. Number 3.
Oh, well, real quick.
I think we're tied on number 3.
Real quick. There's a I don't want to say like franchise, but there's like 4 or 5 places out here called Raising Arizona.
Really?
And guess what they are?
Chicken place.
They are a preschool daycare center.
Oh, interesting.
And I drive by and I'm like, that movie's about kidnapping children, right? And they were successfully kidnapped. Maybe don't name your building after that if you're going to watch our kids.
And
that's all I can think about with that. But it is. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it's an odd way. It's kind of if it was Raising Arizona Chicken, I get it. Raising Arizona Child Protection Care, I don't know about that one.
Named after a movie about child abduction in which they're successful. They steal that kid.
Hey, Nathan Jr. Nathan Jr.'s out there somewhere.
Age 40, RIP. Sorry, go ahead with your number 2.
Dead.
Oh, number 3.
Number 3, Big Lebowski. I think
you fucking serious.
Number 3.
Number 3. Okay.
Because No Country was number 2. Remember, I swapped those out.
Well, I know you're number 1 now, and this used to be my number 1, but I'm being very honest. My number 3 used to be my number 1, but I have been. I've rewatched it several times since then, and now I'm like, it is kind of falling behind the other ones.
Okay.
My number 3 is Miller's Crossing, obviously.
Yes. All right. Very good.
We used to have this discussion. Miller's Crossing was my number 1 for the longest time.
Yeah.
And again, it's the Coen Brothers. It could switch up to number one at any time.
Yeah,
it really could. But Miller's Crossing is fan-fucking-tastic. I love this movie. I was the only one that had this as a number one Coen Brothers movie for the longest time.
Yeah,
because
until now.
Yeah, now you are.
That's my number one. Yeah, number one. Yeah,
Miller's Crossing is just goddamn great.
It's very good.
John Turturro.
Yeah.
Gabriel Byrne.
Look into your heart. Look into your heart.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to mess with Bernie Birnbaum. And Albert Finney, who's playing Irish Mafia. And then you got Marcia Gay Harding, who's a girlfriend. He's had an affair with Gabriel
around
Byrne.
for the whole movie.
Oh, it's great. It's just wonderful. This is wonderful. And again, it's their version of a 1930s gangster Warner Brothers movie. Yeah. It's fucking great.
My favorite scene in that entire movie is when, what is his name? Mike Starr. They have Gabriel Byrne in the room, and they're sitting there talking to him, and then they're gonna beat the shit out of him, and they're gonna torture him for information. And he walks all the way over to his coat and grabs something, comes back, grabs his brass knuckles, comes all the way back, and then Gabriel Byrne goes to the chair. He's like, oh Christ, Mike!
Oh,
like, why?
That really hurt. And he walks out of the room.
Yeah,
he brings the other guys in. Yeah,
and then that other guy pulls up his sleeves comes in.
Yeah.
This is the reason that was number one on my list for the longest time, but I can't deny the fact that I'd rather watch Big Lebowski or Fargo. I can't at a certain point.
So your number two and number one is Fargo and Big Lebowski?
Number two is Fargo, number one is Big Lebowski.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, again, like Big Lebowski, the only reason I don't have it higher is because it's not, to me, it's more of a comedy more than a real movie. It's not really, it doesn't count as a movie per se.
I kind of qualify as what would I rather watch the most? That's
on
my list. What do I love watching the most?
Right.
It used to be Miller's Crossing because I would introduce people to this movie.
Yeah.
Because nobody had fucking heard of it. And I'm like,
right, yeah.
Are you serious? Like, watch this thing. And then my friends in high school would love it and watch it. And, film school did the same thing with you guys. Like, let's watch this. Like, that was my movie of choice.
Oh, yeah.
But it's, since then, I don't watch it that much. It is definitely in my top 25 movies, though.
Sure, yeah.
But why do you love this movie so much? I'm curious what about it catches your attention. Why it's number one?
Well, just the way its originality and the way it moves and the way it's just like he's basically playing every angle and he's ahead of the game because he knows what he's doing and that's the whole point. And sure, it's just such a disbelief in that, but Gabriel Byrne is so good in it, and the cast is just so good. Everybody in this movie is top notch. Just it's I don't know. There's just something about it. It's a movie came out in 1990 for God's sake.
Yeah.
And they don't make movies like
Goodfellas year.
Yeah, it's just such an odd, a weird time for movies where
two things.
Miller's Crossing comes out, and the same Darkman, same year with Sam Raimi. It's just like all these movies came out.
Tracy,
Dick Tracy,
the throwback movies.
Yeah, it was the era of the gangster.
Those three movies were like 1940s gangster movies.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Real quick, I have two things. One of them is I love how much Tom Reagan gets the shit kicked out of him.
Yes,
every single scene he's in, even with women, he gets the shit kicked out of him and has to carry his bloody self to the next scene. That's part of the reason I love the movie so much.
Yeah.
Again, this is another movie I grew up on.
Yeah.
Not quite as much as Raising Arizona or Hudsucker Proxy.
Right.
This is a movie I watched slightly after those, even though it's earlier. It came out. It's just something I caught later.
Right. Yeah.
I started watching this. I'm like, God, this is fucking hilarious. It's a funny movie. It's a funny movie without being a comedy.
And it's always you always forget that Steve Buscemi is the proxy. Yeah, is the proxy for Bernie Birnbaum's body because Bernie Birnbaum went and killed him and shot him in the face. Jesus, Tom, we said one in the heart.
When John Turturro is supposed to be killed by Tom, who's Gabriel Byrne. He doesn't kill him. He lets him go. John Turturro gets free, immediately kills Steve Buscemi and puts him in his clothes and puts him in the woods, several bullets in his face and lets him rot.
Yeah.
And so later on, the gangsters think that Tom did that to him. He's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's just
but Tom on the way a walk over there is like stopping and vomiting. So he thinks he's about to get killed.
And what out the Dane? He goes, "There's nothing out here."
Yeah, they keep saying that.
Yeah, the Dane.
One guy just wants to kill him.
Yeah, well, the Dane hates him, and he should because he's gonna. He gets his. Well, he gets his fucking face smashed in with a shovel from the fireplace.
Yeah,
by that character actor, which he's in
J.E. Freeman gets killed by John Polito,
and then he got killed by AIDS years later.
Yeah, but he beats the shit out of him and kills him.
Well, tell the boys, 2 in the brain.
But I also love the scene. Albert Finney, the scene where he's in his office and he hears them and he jumps out of bed. He hears them come in.
Tommy gun, Albert Finney, and Tommy gun.
He kills every single person inside his house. Jumps out on the roof.
Yeah.
And then jumps on the yard and then shoots the car until it hits a tree. He's just
so funny.
He's like such a badass, and it's like God
he
damn,
finishes his cigar.
Cigar. Honestly, it's one of the better mafia movies ever made.
Yeah.
I like it better than. Do I like it better than Goodfellas? Yeah, I like it better than Goodfellas.
Well, I would say that.
I would
say it's a genre film. I would say Goodfellas is more or less more of a biopic history movie.
I don't like this more than Casino, though.
Oh, interesting. Well, it's the same thing. Casino, same thing, same idea.
Casino, Miller's Crossing, Goodfellas, I would say.
Because Miller's Crossing is fiction, whereas Casino is true story, and so is Goodfellas. I mean, it embellishes, obviously, but, you know.
I don't care about what really happened in real life. I care about the movie I'm watching.
I understand that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. No, I love this. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't blame you.
No, Miller's Crossing's solid. Yeah, it's wonderful. And for your number one, though, Big Lebowski, which, again, we've talked about that forever.
My number 2 is Fargo.
Fargo, yeah, that's a good one.
We haven't talked about Fargo at all.
And Fargo's good, but Fargo gets all the credit, I think. It's too much credit.
It does.
And that's why I put it low on my list, is because I like it. It's a great movie, don't get me wrong. And every time I watch it, I like it even more. But it's like there's other movies that are just a little bit better than that one, but they all get ignored because for some reason it's the accents. And it tricks people into thinking it's like this interesting indie movie. Like, oh yeah, there, yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, but that's like a part of the movie. It's not the movie.
No, I can see why I'd say that, but for me, I never give a shit. I grew up in that accent. I'm fucking sick of it. So I come from a very 100% the opposite opinion, where I go fuck those accents. So I'm already subtracting from the movie.
Oh wow!
Then I go the performances. This is a performance movie.
Oh yeah,
and it is a story movie.
Well, it also has your favorite character actor of all time.
It has several of my favorite characters. Yeah, you're right though. Gee, Marge. I call my dog Marge because of this guy.
I'm going to make you some eggs.
You're right. It does. It does have my favorite character actor of all time. I can't deny that. And it is one of my.
That's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
When he comes downstairs, when she wakes up at 3 a.m. from a call from Lou.
Yeah.
He goes, let me get up. I'll get you some breakfast. She goes, no, go back to sleep. He's like, no, you need your breakfast.
Oh,
Margie, you need your breakfast.
He's painting duck pictures.
Yes.
Oh, your paintings are so much better. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I'm that good. Oh, you're better than they are.
The stamp. They talk about putting on stamps.
Yeah.
It is. I will say this. As a Midwesterner, I could tell from that movie the Coen Brothers are also Midwesterners. I didn't know who they were before that.
Yeah.
So I could tell when I saw this, I'm like, they're from the area.
Right.
And turns out they are. They're from Minnesota, which is the fucking, very, very close.
Yeah.
But it's just a movie where I love the plot. Every single character catches your attention. It's just I think it's a perfect movie. I really do. Miller's Crossing, Fargo, and Big Lebowski, I think, are perfect movies.
You're not wrong.
No Country for Old Men. There's probably 4 I'll put in there as perfect movies.
Yeah. No, I would agree.
Hotel Proxy, I will not say is a perfect movie.
No, there's
Oh Brother Where Art Thou, not a perfect movie. Those four though, I would say are perfect movies.
Yeah.
Raising Arizona.
Yeah,
I put that as a perfect movie.
They're perfect.
For what they're going for.
Yeah,
they fucking nailed it. There's no mistakes in what they're going for.
And there's no other movie like it. I mean, it's a great movie when no one has ever come close to kind of making a version of it. Like it's never been copied because I don't think nobody knows how to do it.
People have tried to replicate Fargo and failed miserably.
Oh yes,
there's that terrible what's her name from the Matrix movie? Carrie-Anne Moss. She did a movie like 2004 or 5 called like Suspect Zero or something. They tried to do Fargo sort of thing, and
but that's like a serious movie with a serial killer, isn't it?
No, but they tried to go the Fargo route with that sort of storyline and that sort of setting, and it failed miserably. It just, you have to be people who love the setting and then go from there. You also have to be talented, because if they just love the setting and that was it, it would fail. But this movie couldn't be made by anyone other than the Coen Brothers Coen Brothers.
Right.
Like they had to make this movie. It's one of those. Raising Arizona is the same way. And that's why the perfect movies that they have in the list are those movies.
Right.
Someone else could have made Oh Brother Where Art Thou and been fine. Like, it would have been not as good, but it would have been fine. But those 5 movies that we mentioned need to be made by them.
You're right. No one else could do that.
Sucked.
We had Big Lebowski. I mean, no one
would
have
sucked. Big Lebowski would have been Big Trouble. That Mark Wahlberg movie, which is fun, but not. It's okay. I'm gonna forget about it 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
Number 1, Big Lebowski.
Yeah. Again. Perfect.
I get why you hide it in your list. You're trying to distance yourself for no reason. I don't see why you're trying to hide it.
Well, no. It's just I just wanted Miller's Crossing its due.
I know.
And Big Lebowski. I've seen Big Lebowski like 5 million times. It's like, obviously it's my favorite, but at the same time,
that's why
it's a funny movie. It's one of the best comedies ever made.
I put it number 4 on my best comedies of all time.
Right.
But it is a perfect movie. When he when he goes over to Jackie Treehorn's pen and paper and goes, and it's a dick.
Yeah.
That's all you need in that movie. It's the perfect setup. And then Jeff Lebowski just stares at him like, what?
Hey, Jackie, how's the smut business?
It's the most quotable movie of all time.
It really is.
I mean, we're not going to discuss it any much further because we discussed it our entire.
We've done, everything's been done for that movie.
Yeah, I really do think the Coen Brothers have 5 perfect movies where, the movies would not be really much fun if they didn't do them.
No,
it's Big Lebowski, Fargo, Miller's Crossing, Raising Arizona, and No Country for Old Men. I think they would suck if they didn't do them. The rest of them on the list are great, but whatever. I don't know what they're doing next, but I do think you should watch Tragedy Macbeth.
I want to. I need to do that. It's just Apple. I don't have Apple. I just didn't bother. I don't really want Apple TV because I don't want anything they have on there.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
None of their content interests me.
I like Servant, so I have Apple TV.
Right. Yeah.
It's what I realized today is Joel Coen was born the same year my dad was.
Wow.
Yeah.
1954. There's some
psychological
profiling going on here.
Ethan Coen was born 3 years later.
Wow. Okay. Pretty crazy.
Yeah. Watch Miller's Crossing, I guess, is our point.
Yes, please.
If we could have a number 1 between us both, Miller's Crossing.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
It's wonderful.
What do you want to do next week, Dick? We're doing 30 Days a Night for this show.
Okay.
What other show do you want to do for the pre this show? We're doing Anthology, another Twilight Zone, Nick Cage.
I'm wondering if we could do Anthology, but find a different show that we haven't watched.
Okay.
Like a show that like when we used to do like the random episode of the Monsters. We do something random, some random anthology show.
I have plenty of that, so we'll discuss later.
That's just roll the dice. Yeah, just for fun, something different.
All right, we'll look into that. Next week on this show, 30 Days a Night. You chose that.
Okay.
That episode 131.
Yeah, sounds good.
Again, another movie I love way too much. But we'll get into that next week. Until next time, in the meantime, I'm Phoenix West.
Dick it, no God.
So long! My favorite movie quote of all time. Citizens. No God.
No God.
Anyway. Bye-bye. Oh, no.